for the acting. Fire just like NASA. Finesse. Chop on my dresser. Boy, you will get left. I shoot for the pleasure. Get that hoe to Mac down. Beating your bitch back out. Hold them in her ass now. Bitch, don't hit my jack now. Yeah, I don't want.
Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification for more information. You know, definitely. But before we start, I mean, can you let everybody know, like, where you from? Like, who is Splash? What is Splash? Like, what is the origin of that name? Like,
okay. Splash. What is Splash? The effect of it. You know, Splash is the effect of. Say you throw something heavy in water. Splash effects. You know, it causes a big ripple. That continues. It causes a great wave. People enjoy that. It'll make you smile. You know, your man jumps in the pool. You already in the water. You get splashed. You enjoy that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the effect of it. That's what I'm here to do.
Now, I like how you actually put that together because it really relates to the music and the energy of like everything that you do. So definitely, I love the definition of that.
You know?
Love the definition of that. And now knowing like what is Splash and who is Splash, like I want to dive into who is actually Splash, you know? And like before music, like who are the people that kind of influenced you the most to kind of dive into music? Like who kind of like gave you the vibe? Like, yo, you know what? I could do this better. Oh, yo, I can do this the same.
All right. Well, first and foremost, my real name is Caesar. For those who don't know, you know. A lot of people wouldn't even expect that. Your boy Caesar Salad here. That's what I if you know, you know, man. Caesar Salad in the building.
We're gonna light it.
I had a lot of influences, more like from like gathering up in the hallway and just rapping with my homies, fucking around and shit. That shit bringing good energy, good vibes. You know what I mean? And then it's like going to studios where we just going to support. You know, you're there to help get the energy right in the room for your homie who you strongly support.
Yeah, definitely.
So that definitely pushes you and makes you want to go ahead and pursue the same thing. You know, and then on top of that, just seeing the fun that everybody has while it's being done. Seeing the fun you can have while chasing your dream.
No, that's
It's like a win for win.
That's mega dope. And I like how you put that out too, because knowing that you have a lot of people that you have relations to kind of have like a tough upbringing, and also yourself as well. You know what I mean? So like, who were like your biggest influences when it came to making like that high type of energy music? Like, who did you kind of like lean on? Like, who was around to be like, you know what? Like that shit's fucking hitting. Or who did you do features with? Like, where did that vibe come from? Because there's not a lot of people from around the area that sound like you or got that same energy.
Right.
A lot of people have like a relatable trait of kind of sounding like they're only from the street, but you have like this party vibe, high energy type, like octane type way of yourself. Like, where did that really derive from? You know?
One artist who really made me want to like be arrogant with my music and really just like have a high pitched energy is Famous Dex. I really enjoy the shit out of him, bro. He is my favorite rapper right now. I don't care what nobody says. I will defend that nigga like I get paid for it. But that's my dog. You know? He makes me happy to be who I am.
Now that's real dope. And we even mentioned Famous Dex too. Famous Dex is, I don't like to match up artists with each other, say they sound alike, because you got your own groove, you know what I'm saying? But Famous Dex, even coming out like of like Chirac, and a lot of artists around him, they got that drill mentality where it's like only talking about the streets. But Famous, you know what I mean, he got that song Japan, and he got all these different vibes. So he's not only like local or national, but his music is kind of international. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't, and that's how I feel about even your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't only sound like a New England artist or like a Boston hip hop artist.
Right.
I really hear you through all airwaves. You kind of sound like a little bit Florida. You sound like LA, like we was talking about earlier. I definitely do see that.
Hey, yo, I'm selling flows. Come buy some. I'm selling flows. Get you some.
Get him, man.
I mean, since we're talking about the industry and about like different people like utilizing it and knowing that you have a different sound than a lot of people around the Boston area, like how do you feel about the Boston industry? Like, what does that mean to you?
There's a lot of love in it. It's really like when you really get in tune to who is really trying to put on for the city and then what they're doing behind that, you really start to see the love that really comes together to make Boston one. You really see the unity between each artist as we try to help one another get out of it. And that's really one thing that I really enjoy about doing this music shit, you know? That's a big push for me. That's really what helps me keep going. Seeing my brothers do good, you know, seeing my brothers get to those reach those goals that they set. It's like motivation for me. Like, alright, cool. Now I gotta set my goals and I'm gonna reach them. And then we all just gonna meet up later in life when we all lit as shit, sitting in fucking mansions in the hills.
Blessed.
You know?
That's blessed. That's blessed. And I like how you mentioned that. Like right now, I know you guys are having a good time. You know what I mean? We're just definitely enjoying the vibes. Do you ever feel like any competitiveness when it comes to like you and like Picasso and Justin Clancy? Like all you guys are all about staying consistent and staying busy, but do you guys like keep each other accountable like in a competitive way? Because all you guys sound mad fire in your own ways. So when I do come here and I see all you three of you, I was like, oh, this is what the fucking vibes
that's
about.
What we do. That's what we do. Nah, but it's definitely, it's more of like a constructive criticism vibe. We all here to help each other be the best we can be. You know what I mean? That's why we like to gain up when it comes to studio sessions. You know what I mean? Keep it real with each other. Nah, that's not it. That's not it. We say something different. Your flow is fire, but what you're saying isn't going with you. You know what I mean? Like we keep it real with each other, and that shit really helps us push us to be the artists we need to be.
We all make different kinds of music too.
Exactly.
It is different types of music. Yeah.
None of us sound the same. It's crazy.
Bro, this mad versatility, bro.
And I think that's what's really major. When I think about Massachusetts artists and Boston artists, there's a lot of versatility, a lot of talented artists, you know?
Right.
And a lot of people may ask the question like, yo, there's so much talent around the area, but why the fuck these niggas ain't really on in other states? Like, what is like your opinion about that?
Well, blackballing.
See, I didn't want. I brought the question out. I brought the question out. I didn't want to say it myself. I mean, shout out to Peace God. Me and Peace God was talking about it. But yo, like,
Well, blackballed me. I don't really feel like that. I'm really just. I'm really trolling. I'm just talking about shit. You know?
Splash. When it comes to being an artist from Boston or Massachusetts, like what is the pros of being a rising artist and what is the cons of being a rising artist? Like,
that's a good one. The cons, I'm gonna start with the cons, you know? You gotta get the bads out.
Get it out of the way.
You know, you gotta get it out of the way. The lack of support.
lack of support.
The lack of support from, and I don't mean that from the city. I mean that from artists individually, you know? Because you could be supporting an artist that ain't showing you no love in return, you know? There's a lot of that. And that shit, it's fucking toxic.
It is hugely
that
fucking
shit is
toxic.
That shit is toxic. And it's like, there are people who know that there's talent. Some people who can accept better talent than themselves. And there's also those who just don't know how to accept it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, a lot of people are selfish. Nothing wrong with being selfish. You know, get it how you live. You know? But that's also what stops this. That's also what is a con towards the city.
And I like how you put that in a higher perspective because I feel when we look at small cities, not even small cities, but major cities like Atlanta,
Right.
you know, what makes them even huge is that rather if you're a rising artist, growing artist, or you're from the north or you're from the east, it doesn't matter that they still work with each other, they support each other. You know what I'm saying? And most of these dudes that are very major from these areas are from different hoods, but they respect each other's consistency and like in art in a way where it's like, yo, you really been on your shit and I'm been on my shit, and even though we're from different parts, I kind of feel like I gotta support you because I'm bringing more value to you.
Right.
We're bringing more value to our city, you know. So I think that's highly important. And what are some major ways you think it could be easier for artists to kind of help support other artists? Like, what ways what things do you do to kind of show that, to be like, all right, even though I'm dropping this song on this date, but I know that my man Mikey Bando or Casso's probably dropped something. I'm probably gonna just screen record parts of a video or let everybody know that it's coming on this date. Like what path do you kind of take to kind of support other people? Like, what is like certain things you do when it comes to supporting other artists?
Well, first you have to, depending on how close you are with the other artists that you really. Cause some people will honestly like send you work ahead of time. Like some people will send me work ahead of time and go give us a listen. Let me know what you think. You know, honest feedback is always taken, and I will give that honest feedback. Like I will tell you, I will always tell people what they need to hear. Cause if you take the time out of your day to send me your music for me to listen to, you care for my craft, you care for my opinion, and that means a lot to me, you know? Because it's hard to get someone to care.
Nah, that's definitely true.
It's very hard to get someone to care. So to know that you have that, by all means, I'm here to help you. I'm going to help you push where you know what I mean? To get you where I am if you feel like I'm on a bigger pedestal than you.
No, that's mega dope. That's mega dope to actually share that energy. That is real dope. That's real dope. And I think more people need to adopt that type of way of thinking, because when we bring more value to people that are doing the same thing that we're doing, you know what I mean? We are bringing more value to our city, and and people outside of the city, outside of the state of Massachusetts, when they're looking at us, they're like, oh yeah, they hold each other the fuck down. So like, we have no choice to respect these dudes.
Right.
Rather than, I'm not gonna say any names, other artists that are really pushing themselves out there, they're forced to go to LA, or they're forced to go other places to try to get famous, and because like they're not getting like the gratitude that's deserved over here, you know? But like you taking the initiative to be like, you know what? I know I'm the shit. I know I'm. Before we end this and everything else, you've been giving us some real valuable like insights about how you feel about certain things. And as an artist, I'm not even gonna lie, like I felt even through this interview, I've learned a lot about you, you know? And not only is your music like very trend-setting to people that are like newly getting into hip-hop, but also I feel like it's inspirational for a person that's also building on themselves, because if a person that if a person carries self-care and self-love, you know what I'm saying, they can accomplish anything. And with your limitations, you made it seem like you had no limitations at all. You made it seem like you had more advantages than most, you know?
Yeah, because it was hard, bro, trying to get back from being at your best to all that shit just getting taken away from you in a matter of moments. You know what I mean? And then it's like, when you get back to reality, everything hits you on top of what you're already going through. So it just becomes a lot fucking harder. But like, those are the times you need to use to help yourself grow out of those. You know? You grow through what you go through.
No, that's true. Like they say, like when you go through a situation, you're not winning. There's only two things. It's either you see that as losses or lessons. And in your situation, you didn't see it as a loss. You saw it as a lesson on how you can make yourself more better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How you can keep yourself growing. You know, and I definitely applaud you. You know what I mean? And definitely thank you for like having the time to talk to me about everything.
You can do this shit all day.
No, I mean, no, definitely. We can do this all day,
bro.
And we coming back for this. I mean, better gear, better times, and better growth. But before I leave you, I always like to ask all artists this: what are three main things you will tell an artist that's struggling, that's like really they're not feeling themselves because they probably dropped a song and nobody viewed it, but they need like 3 words of encouragement, 3 tips of encouragement? What would you tell that artist?
I'm gonna start it off like this. Say you're that artist. You dropped the song, you know? Do you fuck with that song? If you tell me yes, you halfway there. You know what I mean? Love what you do.
Important.
Always love what you do. That's gonna get you where you need to be.
Exactly.
No matter if it's $1 million mansions or, you know, Section 8. Do what you love doing. That's always gonna help you continue to live the life that you want to love.
That is definitely true.
Trying to think of it real, because there's so much shit I can tell people who's coming up. You know what I mean? Like, I then have to tell any artist watching this right now that's coming up. You need any type of pointers? Hit me up, bro. I will tell you everything you need to hear, bro. Because I needed that at a point, and I had that, you know. And because of that, it's why I'm pushing to be a great person, a great brother to all my homies, you know. We all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good, you know.
Of course, definitely. And thank you again for sharing that light, man. And make sure that you guys check out Splash. Got him. You know, if you want more information about him, please comment below. And also, thank you for joining this live. Thank you for subscribing to my channel as well. And this is Mega Mass TV, and you know.
One more thing before we get up out of here, dog. September 21st, my Rockstar Summer, 10-song album.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Tune the fuck in.
I'll be a little extra here. 7-song deluxe. I don't know when the deluxe coming out, but you'll get that. You know, so we're gonna have 17
Mark
songs.
that date.
So
Mark that date.
17 songs.
Mark
17
that
fucking
date.
songs. It's gonna be lit. My
Got
Rockstar,
songs.
hey yo, you heard it though. My Rockstar Summer. Shout out Pandemic. Your favorite one I speak here. Tell your bitch that.
Shorty always strapped. Moving, you get tagged. Bitch, I am a factor. No need for that acting. Fire just